Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob Shekrel, and I'm from Spain. And I have a special guest today here in this conversation. I'm talking with Sigal Lotz from Israel. Sigal was abused during her childhood and growing up. And we want to share with you her story and how we managed to solve all the issues that came as a result from her story. Hi, Sigal. How are you? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me and to explode all the story. I will touch in a few words and to say that it's very important to child and woman will explode all the abuse that they have among the years. My story started at the age of 3 and then beginning until I was 11. And I didn't know how it affects me and my body. I'm treated healing and I did a lot of things for myself, but I knew that I will have something deeper to go into to heal myself.
Sigal, before you continue, I want to ask you a bit to share the story. What happened when you were 3 years old, more or less? You don't have to go into all details, but at least just to give a certain idea, concept, so our listeners, we know exactly your experience. Well, not exactly, but some of your experience.
It was my father when he put me to sleep, and he started to touch me, and it was like until age of 11, when it happened again with him, I realized that it was before, but in the years, I have cousins, uncles, doctors, and I didn't think that it's something wrong because my father started with it. And as a child, you think that everybody actually is, how you call it? I thought that it's a normal
thing, and everybody is doing it.
Yeah. I'm 58, and I'm grandmother, and I have 2 daughters. And 4 years ago, my body is collapsed, and I start to feel that actually I'm going to die. And I realized that I didn't put enough attention to what the past come to and did to my body.
Sigal, before that, you jumped from the age of 11 to 54, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
How was your life during those years? What you were doing? How was your relationship? How did it affect your life?
I've been married for 3 times. I got married in age of 17, then 27.
The first one was like to escape from home, basically.
Basically it was, And then I have a birth to my oldest daughter. She's 14 today. And immediately I got I get married at the age of 30 with my second husband. And I have a second daughter. She's 20 today. And I got divorced 5 years ago, and I got married again with my partner. Actually, all this time I was behaving normal, but not normal.
Because you were trying to hide it, and you were trying to bury deep inside you all these feelings, all these emotions, were you?
Right. And it was difficult because sometimes in intimate times, all the flashbacks of the touch and the smell and all these things was very, very hard to me. And it's come out and it was awful, awful. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to live with that and I will break my third marriage. And I don't want to be involved with any man in my life. And until I met you, start to do the.
Okay, but before you met me, you went to other treatments and you did other things. What were you doing more or less?
Actually, I was treatment with the medicine to help me to solve the problem.
Psychiatric medicine.
Yeah, yes. And actually, it didn't touch the womb because it was like coming up every time worse and worse, and I didn't know what to do with myself anymore. It was so bad, and I thought, okay, this is the way I'm going to live. And a lot of times I was in a deep um, the home
In the Ibis. You went down to the Ibis.
Yeah, and I said to myself, I don't want this life anymore. I want to die.
And when was the last time that you showed me? I know you have water there.
Until I decided, friends came and told me that I can meet Jacob, but he's in Spain. I cannot get this treatment in Israel because in Israel it's not allowed to hypnotizing. And I knew that
hypnosis is not allowed in Israel. That's true. That's the only country in the world, but yeah.
And I said to myself, okay, I cannot go to Spain now. What I'm going to do? And then and
I came with the idea of using the Zoom, the system that we are just talking right now.
Yeah.
So we can do the therapy, all the treatments over Zoom.
Yeah.
How was the results? What do you feel about the results? I know the answer, but can you share it with the listeners?
Yeah. In the first meeting, talk, I felt that I came to the right place. Actually, it's the first time that I gave to myself to a man to treat me. And it was very easy for me to get a hug from the distance, but I can feel the hug in the energy that comes from the masach.
Yeah, through the screen.
Through the screen.
But I want to ask you something here because this is important, and that's something in which I was thinking about it as well. Many women, mostly, especially when they were abused, and there are three types of abuse: the physical, the mental, and the sexual abuse. And seeing the man as the enemy, he is the bad side. I'm representing me as being a man. I'm representing the one who hurt you. But actually, and usually what people are doing, or what women are doing, they're going to other women, and it's so natural that the women hug, the feminine hug, to support you. But when this hug, and I'm talking about digital hug because we're using the internet, but this hug is basically, especially when it's coming from a man, it's a different way of treating and seeing. So it's not, there was a movie like To Sleep with the Enemy.
Yeah.
There used to be a movie.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So, and it's like, okay, but if a man is helping me to get over it, So it seems like it's really helping because it's to
Right.
eliminate the bad feeling which another man created.
It's exactly this. I'm listening to my intuition, and the intuition said, this is the place that you're going to get healed. And I said, okay, I'm not argue with this feeling. And I said, okay, when I saw your face and I hear your voice, I say to myself, all right, this is the place that I want to heal. Because when the soul and the body ready together to come to get the healing, it means that this is the time. And actually here, I don't see you as an enemy, okay? But I know that this is the right, how you say, tikkun,
The correction, the right solving,
the right,
solution.
yeah, to do it before a man.
There was something else that I told you and I advise you that it's better to do it, even though, first of all, we're doing it in different countries. Not only that, but to do it through the Zoom system, through the internet system, internet rooms, interviewing rooms, conference rooms, sorry. And I said, because you had experience that you were hypnotized by a doctor.
Yeah, in Israel.
And basically he did something that he was not supposed to do.
That's right. Yeah. So this is the second time that I exposed myself to this treatment, but also I want to heal the place that another doctor from Israel that tried to do the hypnotizing and did what he did was making me to think that I cannot be in this place anymore, because he was the ones that could do it. In Israel, no one can do the hypnotizing, and this
set
is
of doctors.
Yeah, but this is not. It's also not the same when you here in my room, and we can do it privately and in a place that I can feel confidence to.
It's also a safe zone because we are not physically in the same place. You can be hypnotized, and to know that whatever happens, there's no any chance that even if I was bad in my ways, I won't be able to touch you.
Yeah,
So that's your safe zone, and that's why I insisted. I said that I think that for you, especially after you told me the story with the hypnotist, that doctor, I said, I think what you need to have to experience that, because you're having right now the safe zone, and to have the trust again and the belief again. So that was the reason I said it's the best solution for you. You mentioned something that you were thinking about ending your life. And then we met. Well, actually we met through Daniel, your husband, because I knew him and I suggested him some vacation. Where I spoke with him in Israel to go to my uncle's house, to his Zimmer, but that's fine. And then one thing led to the other, and we start talking and having the conversation, because I mentioned that to Daniel, to your husband, that I'm working with abused women, and say, okay, I think you need to talk with Sigal. So that was the idea. Can you? Okay, I'll give now my way. Basically, what I developed is a combination. It's a method. It's a method which I call it Born to Freedom, and it's made of 3 sessions of hypnosis sessions. 2 of them are regular hypnosis session, and the third one is the past life regression. Now, the past life regression is important in this system, in this method, because it's showing the scars, the patterns that we live our life, the current life, but we are not aware that they're coming from past life. Sigal, can you describe, please, the two, more or less, how you felt after the two first session before we go to the third one?
Okay, I will not touch the stories, but more important is that I'm sleeping well, more safely. I'm very calm, and actually, I know that this time of life connected with other lives that was on the planet. And the way that you took me to travel into my conscience, subconscious, yeah, it's leading me today in this time to be נתקות לי המילים.
Tell me what you want to say, I'll translate.
Yeah, okay. למקום יותר בטוח, למקום קיים יותר.
To a safer place. To take you, leading you to a safer place.
בתודעה עמוקה יותר.
In a deep conscience.
שעברתי כבר את המשוכה הזאת.
That I passed already that barrier.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me explain, Sigal. I want to explain one thing about the treatment, the method. First of all, the first session, okay, we cannot change reality. We cannot erase or eliminate all the story, all the situation that we pass in our past, in our life, whatever, each person with his situation. So I cannot change Sigal history with her father or with the other people that were abusing her. But I can change, using the hypnosis, her perspective, the way she sees the situation. So it's to disconnect the emotions from the hurt point, the hurt part in her soul and in her life, in her brain, to see it in a different way. So first of all, the first session is to clean everything up, to clean all the hurt feelings, all the emotions, all the frustrations, all the fear, all the pain, and we can clear it. And we just can, creating like, it's a virtual, it's spiritual cleaning, but it's working in a physical way. So basically, Sigal felt like a stone came off her shoulders. So yeah. That was the first session. That was the first thing that you felt.
You clean deep the anger. It was very deep anger buried there, and it just justice for, like, life is not.
There's no justice in life. She was angry about she doesn't feel that there's justice in life. Why it happened to her?
And after the treatment, I'm more calm and accept life. It's very different from the place I was to the place that I'm now and here.
Yeah, and the second treatment basically was to start building all the characteristics, the inner characteristics that we need. It's like we have an inner diamond and we need to increase it and we need to expose it to the light. And we also to start building the self-confidence, the self-esteem, the self-love, which usually people that were abused are always blaming themselves, because sometimes, well, not always, but most of the people are blaming themselves. Maybe it's our fault. Maybe something that we did caused that, which is not true, because the people who are doing it, they're sick in mind, body, whatever there is. And I'm not going there because I don't care about the other people. We cannot change the world, but we can help people who were abused, people who were hurt. And this is exactly where I am doing right now. That's the work with Sigal. And I appreciate very much Sigal that she is exposing herself and she's coming up. I'm not taking it for granted that she's helping, because my mission in life is to help people to change their life, to improve their life, to become free, to get that freedom. And I asked Sigal to share her story with you. So after the building all the characteristics, basically we came to the finding the pattern, the past life pattern. Now, maybe there are people, I know that in certain religions it's not accepted, and maybe some ideas, people are not believing in past life, everything is correct. Maybe, and everything is fine. But I must say that it's working, whether you believe in that, in past life or not. And it can really help person finding the pattern which we live in current life according to it. Now, let me explain. Sigal, I just want to explain the point here about the past life. Every exit of the soul from the physical body, the soul is getting like a scar, a spiritual scar, virtual scar, whatever you want to call it. And in a certain life, in our current life, we're bringing some of those scars into our life, and we are not aware of it. We say, fine, we grew up from childhood, we were babies, we were born to this world, we were babies, we grown up, and we got our parents, our family, our friends, our teachers, all the education, all the mindset that they put in us. And we tend to believe that whatever we have in our mind is only coming from this life, because that's what we learned, that's what we were taught. Yet there are those scars which are using as patterns in our life and leading our life, even in the subconscious level, we are not even aware of them. So I want to ask Sigal now, how was it? What was the pattern and what she found in her past life that changed everything for her, changed her attitude, changed her way of seeing her hard experience in this current life? Sigal, can you please?
Yes, I thought that sometimes I very much wanted to להשפיע על דברים.
To influence on the things.
And after the last session, I realized that I cannot. And when you know that you cannot change the things they are the way they are, it's more giving you more quiet, more relief, and you can go on with your life as it is.
So basically, your past life took you to somewhere like affected what you see how, or your daughter right now in this current life, it's affected the way that you saw the scar, the pattern that was affecting her life right now. Okay, yeah. And that was through your story, through the past life that you've been, because your current daughter, the soul of your daughter right now, she was with you again as a daughter in a past life. That was 1848, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And that was in a French fishing village or English fishing village. Usually what we thought it came more French. And that story of that life basically gave you the understanding what happened in this current life with your daughter, and it gave you the understanding of seeing your life as to take it more relaxed, more calm, more accepting, which is affecting you in being more relaxed. And then you know that life has a purpose. And what we didn't say, Nachon is right.
Right.
Hebrew. And I need to translate from time to time. So basically it's seeing the life as they run us, to accept that there is beyond what we see, to understand that the universe, God, universe, whatever we want to call it, we have a mission. So we've been here before, we still live here, and we'll come back again, our soul come back again in another body, in another form, in another shape, whatever it is. But now, basically, if that story from 1848 came back, returned back to you in a different way, but similar risks on your daughter's life, but actually, even in the next, what you can understand that in the next life, it's not going to happen anymore because we cleared that pattern. You cleared that scar already from your life. You took it away. So we know that whatever we do here, we know that life here is affected by a past life, and whatever we do now is going to affect our future life.
That's right.
Okay, so, but it's giving you more clarity. And I mentioned a few things, I'm saying right now, a few things that we already spoke about before an earlier conversation. So it's giving you more clarity about life in general. Life as the connection between the soul and the physical life, the physical body and our spiritual body.
Actually, when you guiding the people, you're guiding me,
yeah,
and you're taking me to a place that's, it's no time, I never been in a place like that, and you guide me with the spirit to a place that I never knew, and all the scene, it's like in a movie. You actually see all the parts of your life in this time when you actually visit there, and it's wonderful. It's magic.
Sigal, I want, before we close this this conversation, our talk, I want to ask you a question. I didn't prepare you for that question. I didn't tell you about that question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you how you see life from now on. How you see your life, your current life right now. How you see your future in this life.
I can't see my future because I saw it so many times, and it never was the way I saw it. And from you, learn one thing. You also didn't prepare to this. Here and now, simply. That's it. This is God. Here and now. Not in the past, not in the future. And I know one thing. We're going to Barcelona. And I'm going to see you and give you a real hug.
Yes, well, the book is written Barcelona in Hebrew, and we're going to meet next month. I think it's going to be, you're going to visiting Barcelona, and that's true. We're going to meet each other.
Sure.
You and your Daniel, your husband, you're coming there.
Yeah. We're going to celebrate your birthday.
Oops, don't say that.
I'm not saying happy birthday.
You're not supposed to say that.
Okay. No, we doing here a new birth. So you born also. Yeah, happy birthday to you. And
thank you very much.
Also. Okay.
So, Sigal, thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you.
Again, I won't say I'm not taking it for granted. It's really a big thing to come and expose and help women all over the world that they need to. And it's really today in the world, we don't need to be in the same physical place, because we can use the internet, we can use the system. Technology is allowing us to can get to any person in the world, wherever it is. So first of all, thank you. And see you soon.
Bye. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.